And we're back. I've purchased an extremely loud microphone for it to only not sound very loud at all. And see, that's way too loud in my ears, even. And you're barely hearing it. You said.
Yeah.
I think there's some kind of interface problem because this was always the way. Even with a less expensive microphone, it sounded quiet, right?
Yeah.
And then, luckily for the listener, I can export it and fuck with it and make it a little bit louder. But anyhow, welcome back to the show. It's the Monday Not So Live show. Cheryl was in Las Vegas. Dave and I were not. I really enjoyed not being at the event. I was really, really happy to be home. How about you, Dave?
I was not home, so I was down at our little DEKA event at Farm Girl,
Oh,
so,
that's right. That's right.
so wasn't quite home.
All right. Well, I was enjoying checking in with but I wasn't that invested. And Saturday, I did next to nothing. Saturday, I watched about 10 episodes of Better Call Saul, and Sunday, I had a nice day and I got some stuff done. But it was a good weekend off.
But wasn't like Vegas kind of like the exhale after the big Phoenix event?
Well, that's what we're here to find out this week with Cheryl, who is at both, and our guest Daria, who is at both, who I'm sending the link to right now. Cheryl, did you think it was going to be what did you call it, the exhale, and then it ended up being so much more?
I think I complained last week that nobody's even paying attention to it, because they were focused on Phoenix and then they're all focused on DC. DC sold out right away. It just felt like nobody was paying attention to Vegas. And I thought it was just going to kind of be, not that memorable. And I think you reported it was the largest attendance yet.
3-dayer, by the way, not a 4-dayer. Those are 4-day numbers, 17,000 plus. 3 days.
I was completely overwhelmed at the size of the event, just how it felt giant. It was not a blip on the screen. It was not an exhale.
Yeah, and we did not see a ton of pro names, right? The men's field had a couple three. The women's field, which we can talk about, Chris was kind of the only top name. I know there are a bunch of women who finished in the top 10 or 15 that we know, but at least 15-ish names. So from that point, it wasn't, but clearly the community turned out for it.
Well, look, the hall that they chose this time, they had it in the convention center last year, and I thought that was a great venue. I mean, just plenty of options for food, and it was big enough for everybody to show up, and there was plenty of bathrooms and all that good stuff. I didn't think they could improve upon that, and this Mandalay Bay Convention Center exceeded my expectations. It handled the volume perfectly. There were a couple tight spots, but for the most part, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, there were a couple tight spots, trying to get from the stations 1 through 4 to stations 5 through 8. But for the most part, it just ran like clockwork. And they had a giant lounge in the center of the venue that everybody was hanging out at. There were places to sit. It wasn't too full. There were people selling booze on either end of the lounge. They just did a really nice job. It felt very Vegas-y.
But before I hear Daria's thoughts, Cheryl, you sent me video of the couches. I'm always looking for a place to fucking sit, right? I'm walking, I'm filming, I'm talking to people, I'm watching the races. I'm always looking for a place to sit. Sometimes there's nowhere. So I was thrilled. And the amount of comments I got about how possibly disgusting they were, and I said to myself, you guys run Hyrox. You lay on the floor over and over and over again. There's far worse things on that floor, which we have discussed, right? Especially after LT games. So surprised that that's where people's minds went when they are, in fact, Hyrox participants, where we share way more bodily fluids on machines and balls and bags than we ever should. Daria, what were your thoughts?
The Vegas venue, I thought was great, actually. Jumping in when Cheryl was talking about the rock zone was a little messy. A lot of girls were running into each other. But I did like the couches, a lot of seating area. I thought it was very big.
Is that like because of like a boob butt issue? Why the women were running each other and the men weren't? Is that what you're trying to
No,
say?
no. I think
Cheryl's
everyone
face
was
is
running
so
into each other.
horrified. You said the women. I was like, why weren't the men running into each other? I don't know.
Well, she
I was
didn't
just
know.
out
She
there
wasn't
with all
running with the
women.
men.
That's right.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just thought the rock zone was a little messy. I did like how you were able to kind of get into the venue without a spectator band per se and kind of be at the front of it and check out the merch area without getting checked for your spectator band. And then you could kind of cross, you kind of could see what was going on. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, and I'll say the people who were using the lounge area were by and large spectators, right? It was kind of a place to sort of chill. It wasn't sweaty bodies sitting there. We were in a completely different place sweating. And then the spectator stuff was right next to the podium, which was really nice. So people kind of hung out on those chairs during the podium ceremonies as well. So it was really brilliant. Sorry about that.
How would you compare it to coming from the big stadium, which people seem to be in love with?
What do you think, Daria?
I actually preferred the Vegas venue over Phoenix. I did like the stadium. I like the feel, but it did feel very open and spread out. This felt more like hyped up and kind of in the chaos of everything. That's my thoughts.
By the way, I should introduce you, Daria. It says COO at the 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know you. I know you as the head of the Training Lab NYC. That's how I know
right.
you. OG Hyrox facility, turned on to by my friend Matt Kemp, of course, and then we've stayed in touch a ton. You guys have put on a bunch of Hyrox events. You've put on DEKA events too.
Yeah, we've done a DEKA event. Yeah, DEKA Strong.
Okay. Have you done a Deadly yet?
No.
Are you thinking about it?
Possibly. There's not really anything super close, but not really on top of my list, to be honest.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But the Hyrox sims do well.
Yeah, our Hyrox stuff does phenomenal.
And so what's the average turnout at those things?
We've done events in the past. This year, we feel like the market's very saturated, so we're not really kind of going the in-house event style like that. But usually like 150 people, give or take.
I would say that's a success.
Yeah,
Very much so.
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of gyms, I think 50 is a lot for a lot of gyms. They get more like 20, 30.
Yeah, we had about 100, I think, for our DEKA Strong event as well.
Yeah, that's nice. So, we want to talk about Vegas some more, and then Daria's here to talk about New York specifically because I have some thoughts on that. What else from the weekend did you want to talk about, Cheryl, in terms of venue or races? Or we were concerned about traffic. Did that end up being a thing or no?
I thought it was kind of a thing.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was. My race was at my first race was at 3:20 on Friday afternoon, and I thought there was going to be kind of no problem getting into the parking garage. They had a parking garage that was right next to the convention center. Once we sort of figured out where that was, and you had made a post about it, and so that felt like it was going to be no problem, and it turned out to be a problem. Like I got there and I was rerouted and ended up having to do the main parking garage and then walk 10, 15 minutes through the giant property to get to the venue. And it was just overwhelming coming in that way, because then you saw the pillars that Hyrox had put their names on all the way down. And it just went on and on, the hallway to get to the venue. It was packed full of these gorgeous people. I don't think I've ever seen healthier people in a casino in my life. It was just really, really cool seeing everybody there. And I feel like Hyrox did a great job of sort of leaning into the location. And I don't know how much they're going to do this with every location going forward. I think Vegas is an easy one to do that with, in as much as the relay, they turned out all the lights and they just had neon in there. And there was booze flowing and people just, we were wearing glow sticks so we could see each other coming into the relay area. Like it was this real party, this real nightclub kind of vibe. And then the shirts, I brought my shirt. I wasn't going to buy anything, but I actually thought this was really adorable. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
But do you see how they have like the 4 suits? Like, so instead of hearts, spades, clubs and diamonds, right? They've got a plate and a rope and a kettlebell and a wall ball. And on the back, it's like the 8 of kettlebells, right?
That's cute.
They just make it cute, right? Like it really did feel like a great destination and something that people would come to just to kind of experience the Vegas experience. It was a much better location than the convention center, which didn't feel very Vegas-y. This was right down the street from the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. So
Dave's going to be right back. So, yeah. So I think that we talked about this early on when we talked about like Miami Beach, when it was on the beach and the first time in New York and it's outside and it's weather. And it's like, yeah, they're not saying every race has to be the fastest course. They're saying here's some experiences for you, which when you think about it in America, there's so few that I feel like everyone should get it. It's just not as easy, right? So Chicago, it's like, okay, let's make a hot dog reference. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not as easy, but sure, Vegas, it looks like they knocked it out of the park with those kinds of things. And, I can't speak to Katowice or however you say that, but I doubt that has a lot of like cool local flair they can do necessarily. Maybe also, maybe sausage, but like
last time in Vegas, I saw a lot of people had the patches that were Hyrox patches, but with like the cards, like a royal flush kind of looking thing.
yeah, that's right.
I thought those were the coolest looking patches. I don't know if they did something like that this year.
Yeah, not the finisher patches, but you could get stuff like that, right? Like you could get the dice or whatever. And then I think it was coincidence that the rock and roll marathon was going on that weekend. So like Daria, you did both, right? Like you got to run
I
through
did the 5K.
Yeah.
It was
5K,
fun.
not a marathon.
No, but there was a 10K and a half marathon on Sunday. I ended up leaving early because of all the snow and stuff in New York. I was going to get stuck in Vegas. But there was Saturday night, there was a 5K in downtown by Fremont Street, which was cool. I didn't know that downtown Las Vegas and the Strip were like different areas. So
They are.
that was fun to figure out and learn. But yeah, it was nice.
So the Rock and Roll Marathon is, have they moved it or has it always been right there?
What do you mean? Have they moved it? Do you mean to Fremont Street?
Yeah.
So it used to be that the marathon itself would go down the Las Vegas Strip, which is actually Clark County. It's not in Las Vegas. And you would end up going through Fremont Street and then circling back through. They no longer have the full marathon. So the half marathon and the 10K go down the Strip. But I think it's the night before they do a 5K downtown Las Vegas. So if you want that kind of gritty downtown Fremont Street thing, you do the 5K. And if you want to go down the Strip, you do that on Sunday.
Fremont Street is what I like to call Old Vegas.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Are you familiar with the Plaza Hotel, Cheryl? I had a weekend or two there that I did stand up many years ago.
Did you really? Did you get your shots? You should get your shots.
This is before shots. This is just you just rolled the dice, as they say, right?
I still remember riding an elevator in the Plaza Hotel, just not wanting to touch anything.
Yeah. I mean, this was 2003 or 4, so like not as bad as today. 25 years newer, I guess.
Well, and I will say, I think Fremont Street's kind of cool now. I mean, I think there's there actually, that's kind of where the scene is for the coffee shops and the good restaurants, and they've kind of revived it a bit. So I don't know, Daria, probably you went through interesting parts, but
it was very cool to see. Definitely different than the Strip. They had a lot of lights. They had this holographic overarching thing over the whole street that was covered. So it was cool to see.
That's when they got the zip lines going down the middle of the street and stuff.
correct.
Yeah, I checked that out last year.
Did you do the zip line?
No, God, I got bored and left real fast.
All right, next time let's do the zip line.
Zip lines are kind of dull.
They last 5 minutes. You'll be fine.
You think they go 5 minutes? Oh, 5 minutes would be all right. Usually they're over too fast. That's the problem.
What about jumping off the thing, Dave? Did you ever jump off the Strat?
My
Strat.
husband did.
What's that?
The Stratosphere Tower is that really tall tower, really tall building. It should have actually been taller. They had to cut it shorter because of the airplanes here, but it was planned on being even taller. But you can basically bungee jump off that. My husband.
What's that cost?
It's like
I'm always a cost versus thrill thing. I've never done bungee jumping because I'm just like, it could usually cost too much.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little expensive. I don't know how much it costs. But yeah, a party, right? Like it's a great location, and I'm sure they'll be back. And I always thought, well, they should go to Allegiant Stadium, but I agree with Dario. Like I thought that the venue was great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing they'll go back there.
Yeah, but to that venue is what I'm hoping.
Because I think they're probably as bored with convention centers as we are, right?
Well, I think if you get 17,000 people, that sounds like a pretty good turnout. So you probably should go back.
Right.
Yeah. I will say the judging, I thought there, for as tough as Phoenix was, and there were so many complaints, I'm not hearing any. And I know that they had some different tactics that I think worked, and I think they will probably be using going forward, hopefully, in North America. Wall balls in particular, when the pros came through, they would set them every other station. So there was room for these judges to have the room to be able to get the right perspective. And you had the judge with the iPad that was keeping track of that. And you had a second backup judge with a clicker.
So they totally heard us.
Somebody heard something or made a decision, but I think they just did a really good job. I know that in the judges meeting, I had heard from one of the head judges from the head judge chat at the beginning. One of the things they heard for the first time was, look, our job is to make sure that people have a good experience.
Oh, what a
concept. And they stopped having the head judges give penalties. They would just take a picture of your number and send it to the race directors, and the race directors would enact penalties. So there wasn't sort of that one-on-one kind of argument on the floor about what's going on. They would just boot it to the race directors. I have heard
people say I got a penalty and I don't know what for, though.
I think there's still a problem with that. And I don't know if they can have some sort of code or something when they list the penalty. I don't know what they need to do for us to know what happened.
And when you looked at your results online, it used to say down on the bottom penalty, and you could kind of work out time-wise what it was. If you only had like one or two, you'd be like, oh, it's like 3 minutes. That means I missed a lap on the sled, or 5 minutes. That means I missed a lap of running, or something like that. You could work it out, but I've never understood, like, say, why it's not just down there with, here's the penalty, 15 seconds, burpee, right? Something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what I realized in this race, because I had some friends going through for the first time, and the amount of stuff I had to explain to them that isn't just obvious was a lot. And that's one of them, right? Like we just kind of all know that we ask our friends, well, what do you think the 2-minute penalty was for? And we all speculate what it is, that they could be a lot clearer about a lot of things. And they aren't. I had to stand at the farmer's carry and double check that my athlete knew to go twice. It's not really actually intuitive, right? So
they do usually have big signs, though, like a big sign that.
And usually the judge says, "Guys, grab those, go around twice." Like I feel like the judges usually, if they have people doing a good job, kind of barking that out along the way. But again, it's like you have race brain, you have to pay attention. I mean, you always see a post from a guy who's like, "Hey, my time was wrong. They said I missed a lap, but then I didn't, and then I fixed it." And when you think about it, it's like, if it's 17,000 people, right, times 8 station, times how many laps is that and how many splits? Like, I'm guessing they're probably in the 99 percentile of shit that goes right. But if you're that one person, you're really fucking mad, right? Like, oh my God, my time was wrong. But like, there's probably somebody who does statistics could probably tell me, like, when you've got 200,000 data points, plus or minus 1.1% is pretty good, right? Like, but probably somebody's is going to be messed up. And if you're that somebody, it's your whole life and it's your whole world. Or they sent the wrong penalty in for the wrong person, or just human error shit that happens.
Supposedly the sleds had trackers on them, tracking how many times they were going up and down, and they weren't giving out penalties there. I don't really know if that was working, but
Did the sleds have the trackers, or did they have the sensor in the middle and then the people's trackers go over? Because I know they've had that before.
unsure
like
of
you
the
have to go back
exact
and forth.
logistics. I
Yeah.
just know I heard volunteer judges letting people know that people that were observing, watching people do the wrong amount of sled lanes, saying that the sleds had it all tracked in there and the penalty would be added in somehow.
I have heard that in the past. I cannot confirm or deny how well it works, but I do know that that has been the case for a while. I can't say at every event, but I do know that they do have sensors underneath, and they clock if you've gone past 4 times that sensor, and that hence done 4 lengths, which is a cool thing. I think it's a great thing to have, because normally when you're not like Elite 15, obviously Elite 15, everybody's got their own judges, but when you're not, you might be out there and there might be like 2 judges on each side, and there's a lot of people for them to watch, and they're definitely not counting for everybody.
Right. By the way, my previous statement goes only for the bulk of the 17,000. Elite 15 is not. You're not allowed to have any mistakes. There's only 15 of them. Get it right.
Correct.
Just to be clear of that. All right. Anything else about Vegas before we move on?
I don't think so. I do think it did exceed my expectations. It wasn't just a bump in the road. I think the people that went had a really good time. It was so big. I knew friends and, a lot of friends in like the same event as me, like in the relay. I never saw them. It was that big. Like we would all be lined up, and it was impossible to find people. It was big. It was really, really big.
I have one more question about Vegas. How are your races?
Go ahead, Daria.
I had not a great race, not one of my best.
Okay, that was not a lead in. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But
didn't either.
yeah, some are good, some are bad. You learn. It is what it is.
We were in the Star Tunnel together.
Yes, we were.
She was nice enough to, say hi. So we stood next to each other before the start. And there was a point where we were both in the BBJs. We were running doubles. We were in the BBJs together. And I looked over at her and she shot me a look like, this is not good. She was not happy. And I still swear you guys passed us on the lunges. I swear you passed us on the lunges. How could it have been somebody who looked like you? I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I thought, they looked great. I ran doubles and I ran relay that same day. And my partner, so many people are sick, right? And so it's just nobody's getting out of themselves what they want to. And my partner was pretty sick, and she sacrificed her body for that race. And
that was me.
I am hugely impressed when people do that, because I don't think I'm that person. I had that solo ticket, and I just thought I got to take better care of myself. At my age, I can't be doing that. And I just didn't feel right. And it's haunting me to this moment that I didn't race that race, but it was good for me.
Okay, I got one more question, and this is for Cheryl, because I know she cares. How are the outfits?
I thought that the women knocked it out of the park. There were 2 women in our start tunnel that were wearing sports bras that were full on rhinestone sports bras. They leaned into the Vegas thing like nobody's business. Like I showed you the shirt. I think the shirts, like they came out good, at the merch section. And I just think everybody seems to be upping their game. People look really sharp out there. Daria and her partner looked like your hair. I don't know how you get your hair like that. I'll have to talk to you about that.
I was trying to find a picture of you in the relay team, because you guys sent that to me and I can't find it. Do you have it handy on Instagram?
What the tutus?
Yes.
That was let me try to send that to you. That was Andrea Clyburn was our team captain, and she just really, really leaned into the tutus. So
I was invited to be a part of that team, and I declined. And I'm glad you guys had a good time, but I'm also glad I stayed home.
Yeah, they were very speedy. I was kind of the weak link on that, and I feel bad about that because I think we lost third by about 30 seconds. But it was fun. They were great. So we did 2-2s. I just texted it
Did
to
you
you.
find it?
I did. I found it. I sent it to you on text.
I was gonna say just hold it up to the camera. That's all I.
Oh, hold up to the camera.
Yeah, sure.
Here we are. Hey guys, the first time I've ever worn a tutu
You have too much
in
glare
a
on
race.
there. Oops, so do I. There's mine. Okay, yeah. Really, really cool. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
So you didn't get a flag?
We did not get a flag for that. I got a flag for my doubles race. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Look, if she's going to sacrifice herself like that, like she deserves a flag, right?
All right. Well, one of the reasons Daria's here is to talk about New York, and people were extremely frustrated. I did not think they would go that fast. I knew that the race would sell out, and as I've said in the past, you'll get tickets. Like, they'll be coming back, just like you could have bought Vegas the week up until the week of. I was surprised that 90 minutes in they were gone. I was kind of shocked. But sometimes it's like, oh, and also we fucked up and the link is wrong, and then they refix it and they don't tell people, but then it fixes. Some people were saying, oh, just don't add the photos, which again, like, that shouldn't be a solution, because like, if you're not in the groups and you're a regular person at home and you just don't know why it's not working, you would never assume it's the pictures. So Daria, you're in New York, you are an affiliate, you have been for a long time. Talk to me, sister.
So they originally sent out the link actually pretty far in advance, like 2 days in advance, which was
2
kind
days
of
in advance of the 2 day in advance.
Yeah. So they sent out the
advance of the
affiliate
advance.
link. Yeah. So they sent it out, and so we had it, and that was the first time we had it that far in advance. So we kind of set everything up to send out to our members, and then the next day they say, "Oh, we sent out the wrong link." So that didn't really work for them. So then we had to redo everything. But the link did end up working once we got in. Some people were in line, like you had pictures of, that were like, 9,000-10,000 people in line. Other people got right in. We didn't seem to have a problem with the pre-sale link. All of our athletes got tickets, and then it did sell out, and then we were able to get more on the general sale day, which I thought maybe was going to be a lot more difficult, but that seemed to go pretty smoothly as well. So actually no complaints on the ticket sales, but yeah, they sold out very, very quickly. If you weren't in the queue, then you kind of missed out.
And I was in the queue because I like to keep on top of these things, and I may not go to New York, but I certainly wasn't trying to go this first time out, but I was just messing with it. And it did the thing where, it goes down and down and down. You're down to 200. Oh, I'm in. And then it kicks you back out to be like 8,000th again. That's happened to me, and I'm sure that happens to other people. So I have no idea the tech behind it. And I'm sure it's expensive, and they have to do it for concert tickets and everything else all over the world, but it definitely has issues.
Some people did get redirected, kind of like booted out. And then they also only let you put 2 tickets in your cart at once. If you put more than 2 tickets, you are not able to check out. So they did limit for the pre-sale to only 2 tickets per purchaser.
But they don't do that for the regular?
The regular, I was able to get like 8 tickets in my cart at once and check out. So it seemed for the pre-sale they limited it.
Who are you talking to? Cheryl's
Sorry, there was a garbage man out there. So okay,
so no, scratching off the garbage man. What were you doing?
No, I was sorry, I had it on mute because I didn't want you to hear the garbage man. So did they have like the thing that I think frustrates me about Hyrox sometimes is I do think they lean into the community so much that there's just this underlying understanding about how to register and how it goes. Was there something on the website for pre-registration that said you can only put 2 tickets in this?
No. When you tried to put the 3rd ticket in your cart, it only put, say for doubles, 1 of the athlete tickets, and then it's like athlete 2 cannot be added, and then the checkout just stopped working. So then you assumed something went wrong. So you tried to figure it out, and you took a thing out, and then the checkout thing worked. And
Yeah, see, I would
so
panic. Yeah, I would
yeah,
panic.
I did panic, and then it seemed like on laptops, if you're on a desktop, you get into the queue faster, um, and into purchasing the ticket faster than if you're on a phone or an iPad.
Interesting. Yeah, and my guess is smart people try everything, right?
Yeah, we had
iPad.
three up, and the laptop went right in. We purchased, and the laptop got back in before the phone and the iPad.
So because people don't trust it, they add more devices, which in fact gives it like not everybody's doing two devices, but a lot of people. I
Probably
certainly
glitches
had
it more.
phone and laptop at the same time. But again, it shouldn't. It's 2026. Tickets get sold all over the world, right? Taylor Swift sells out in 4 seconds. Oasis, whoever, they work. The systems work, so it's not impossible to figure out. I'm very curious what percentage per venue they give on the early side because those selling out in 90 minutes would never surprise me, right? But then the main sale, like, was it? I mean, if literally every F45 is a fucking affiliate, right? And there's two or three other brands they partner with around the world, right? How could you possibly? What's the pool? 1,000 out of the 17,000, or let's say they sold 20,000 tickets, right? And whatever the number is, right? Just New York, it's going to be 60,000, right? Whatever that number is, what percentage do they say? Okay, here's the first 2 days, and they're trying to pretend like they can count it per gym, but they can't, right? I don't think they can track that at all because it would be one per gym if you divide it by every F45, right?
No clue.
You have no insight whatsoever, Daria, as an affiliate.
No, suppose the affiliate link is technically like tailored to my gym, right? So mine says like TTL in it 365, TTL 2024-25 season. They give you this code to enter. Um, I don't know if in the back end they are able to track how many people used my code and purchased, or if they even have the time and interest to do that. But yeah, I have no idea
You, of course,
about.
personally would never break the rules, Daria, because you're an amazing human being. We know you wouldn't. But let's say somebody else, right?
Mhm.
There's no way. 2 years ago, maybe they could be like, "Hey, this gym sold 100 and they only got 20 or
Right.
something." There's just, like I said, because they've leaned in so hard into you get a car, you get a car, you get an affiliate. Like, there's no possible way. Like, they honestly shouldn't even bother with the. It just should just be affiliate, 0 0 because they know they're just going to get shared to shit anyway. So, we probably won't ever know. Maybe I could find out off the record one of these days. Like, maybe they'll tell me like what percentage. I'm just really curious.
Maybe it depends how many days they have and how many people they're expecting. Yeah, I mean,
Are you given any sort of direction about sharing codes?
they tell us not to share codes. Obviously, we try to keep it within our community. We have a huge Hyrox community, and even within ourself, it's a lot. So if we're sharing that, then that's even going to decrease the chance of my athletes getting tickets on the pre-sale. So we only sent the New York code out to our unlimited members, not even our just full community. Only our unlimited members got it, and people were going crazy. People signed up just for a membership to get the early access code.
So
A
that
lot of
that
people.
that makes me think like of a scam that I think I might do. Like I might just get like a couple of buddies together and just randomly open a garage affiliate and then just, start scooping
I mean,
codes.
I think it's what do you pay for an affiliate a month? 125, 100?
Yeah, something like 125 a month if you pay monthly, or a
Yeah, and I
thousand,
don't,
give
and
or
I don't,
take yearly.
and I don't. I mean, like that's what Anthony did 2 years ago. Like Anthony was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna say I have a gym, and like, because I want to be able to get codes." And like, again, I don't think it's hard. I don't think they care to police it. I think it's like they're in fucking maximum growth mode, and the people that get upset for getting sold out. And again, pay attention, people, if you're listening. Start checking now for DC. I'm telling you, DC tickets will open up. It happens every single race. Like I said, Phoenix sold out, and you were able to get Phoenix tickets. Can't promise which categories on which days, but just keep refreshing. When you wake up in the morning, set a reminder. New York will be the same way. So many people are going to get hurt, sell their tickets back, whatever.
New York seemed to be very expensive. I haven't compared it to my last ticket purchases, but a solo ticket with a flex option and all the processing fees came out to almost $270,
Isn't that what
which
we paid for Phoenix, Cheryl?
uh,
Yeah, but then they said we charged you too much, and they gave us some back. And you were telling me, Daria, that like doubles is like $500 by the time it's
doubles
all over.
almost came up to like 450 if you got the flex, which who doesn't want to get the flex at this point if your partner gets injured or whatever. So I think, yeah, $450 for a doubles team to run one race is, I don't
Yeah, we
know,
pay.
kind of pushing
Americans
it.
pay more than anybody.
I'm out.
Americans pay more than anybody in the world. If you travel somewhere else, it's much cheaper. You just have to get there.
I haven't been to this location. I mean, I know it's becoming iconic. People talk about it. I know last year it rained. Uh, why aren't they finding a bigger venue for New York?
I think there's a
Pretty
couple.
pictures.
Yeah, they are pretty pictures.
I think there's a couple issues. I think a larger venue is probably very costly, a lot more costly. Like something like the Jostin Center or something. I know there's a lot of permitting issues. We have tons of permitting issues trying to get permits at parks or different places. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I have a question for Daria. Daria, I have been really, really public on my displeasure with my trip to New York for Hyrox.
Okay.
Tell me why I want to go back.
Why
Sell
you want
me
to
New
come
York.
back?
Yeah, sell me New York.
Um, well, I'm a Jersey girl. I just work in New York, so I don't know that I'm the best sell on New York City.
This is not going well so far, Daria.
Yeah, other than, I mean, obviously it's a spectacle race, right? So it's a race that you have beautiful pictures. It's really fun to be outside. I thought they tightened it up a lot last year compared to the year before, as far as um, the spectators getting in and out. Because 2 years ago it was kind of just open and like it's I mean it's open right on the West Side Highway, so they had to like gate it off and stuff. So they did much better last year, I think, controlling the crowds. Um, I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm a little nervous. They say they're gonna leave the equipment outside the whole 2 weekends, so I don't know really what's gonna happen there.
I mean, I
Um,
think they have little pop-up tents to cover the machines, and 8 full days. Odds are it'll probably rain at least some of the time.
I mean, it's still on a pier next to water that is blown with wind and a lot of moisture in the air through the machines outside. I don't know. Last year they were watering the turf, so we'll see what happens this year.
I loved it. Dave and I disagreed. I did enjoy it, and much like Cheryl talks about, like if you think about the spectacle, it's a fucking late spring summer day, gorgeous people. If the sun's out, it's New York. It is kind of amazing. Now, would I tell someone drop everything, sell the ranch and go to that event? No, but I don't know that I'd say that about any event. Like it is sexier than the Atlanta Convention Center, but overall, you know what I mean? I think they do lean heavy into they try to get more influencers there and kind of make it more of a media event, and they'll try to make it like if they can, I'm sure they'll try to make it some sort of Puma announcement, like just give it because it's New York. Um, but yeah, is it any like cooler than Phoenix or Vegas? I don't know, but it's a cool like I'm not going unless I'm with a client because it's right before Worlds and it's an expensive trip, but not because it's not cool. But I also I wouldn't say stay away, and I wouldn't say oh my god you have to go.
I do think they plan on hosting a bunch of events throughout that whole week,
Right.
at different gyms and places, some activations, some which will most likely be held at my facility. So other than like having a great Hyrox race outside kind of spectacle, then just being able to do like a New York style vacation attached to it, I think would be the appeal, Dave.
What's good on Broadway these days, Daria?
Broadway, I've seen a bunch. The one that just won the Tony was super cute. What one was that called?
I don't know. I haven't
Oh
been
my
to
God.
Broadway. That's why I'm asking you.
You'll
Uh,
remember in like 5 minutes.
yeah, there's a bunch. I really like Moulin Rouge. I think Moulin Rouge is one of the best ones.
Well, and I think the interview that I just did, we talked about that. Like, what are you going to do when you're at the city? Are you going to just go to the hotel and back, or are you going to start creating some of these venues and opportunities and things? And so I think that's a smart idea. I think New York's harder though, right? Because it's in Phoenix or even Vegas. It's like, here's this place and here's this place. New York is a whole other animal, right? Like you could be on the complete other side of the city, or people might not want to just like if they're not like I would hop in an Uber or a fucking what do you call those things? Bird, and just like, oh yeah, cool, go. But other people who are from the middle of the country who aren't as travel savvy might not, you know?
I think if you're going to go to New York City, you're most likely going to stay in Midtown, which is near the pier, and it's very much walking distance. We're about 1 mile inland from the pier. I don't think you're really going to stay in like the Upper West Side or like, somewhere very far away from the venue. So I think most people are going to end up learning the New York style walking way.
Where are you guys? What part of town are you guys in?
We're on 39th between 5th and 6th. So
Okay,
that's basically Midtown Times Square, right next to Bryant Park. We're a mile inland from the pier. So that's on basically the West Side Highway, which is like 12th. And we're between 5th and 6th.
Right. I did in fact win a white white flag in New York. However, it wasn't white now that I think about it, because they didn't have those yet. We won our over 40 relay. Very proud. I don't know if we could do that today, but we did 2 years ago.
We have a lot of relay teams going off, I must say.
If times are any comparison, which they may or may not be, no.
That's some pretty fast dudes.
Well, that's what happened to us with the Toronto one. The time we came 10th in the over 40. And had we run that time the year before, we would have won.
Right.
Yeah, there's just too many people now. And the fact that they still have the relays only 2 age groups is,
come on, man.
They need to fix it.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially as doubles and relays gets more and more popular, for sure.
Yeah, because in doubles, they've got it down to 5. And if they did 10-year increments for the relay, I think that would be a lot more motivating. I think it would be really fun. But look, so, okay, London, they had that like 9-day event, right?
Right.
If you're saying that venues there are expensive and there's something really kind of special about the pier, and they've got the equipment out there anyway, why aren't they just doing it all week? Like, why not just have 2 weekends and have the whole thing? Because if you're coming to New York, make it a vacation, race on Wednesday. It seems much more cost effective.
I heard they may add days.
Yeah, it just totally makes sense. I've been very, like, I feel really bad because the one reason I stay on Facebook is because of the Hyrox Facebook group. They are amazing. I love those people. And the desperation of the posts. Does anybody have, I'm willing to race anything in New York. Do you got like just the constant posts with this, false hope that somebody's going to be like, well, yes, I have a ticket for you. Like, that's not going to happen. But it does seem like there is plenty of demand. And if they've got the equipment anyway,
it's gonna be sitting out there anyway.
Yeah, let them race. It'd be really great.
Yeah, unsure why they're stuck on the pier. And I think back in 2019, they were at a different pier. It was indoors. The venue.
That was the semi in and out one, inside and outside, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. I raced there, but it was much smaller scale. So it felt really big, but I don't know if it's just because there was so much less people than there are now, and then the Meadowlands was just horrible when it was there. So
so this is a good location. You feel like it's a good one.
I mean, it's better than what we've had in the past at the Meadowlands.
Well, especially if it's in Midtown. Like, it's just, there are so many places to stay there. Like, it's so accessible, plenty of food, plenty of amenities. Like, it's really easy to sort of, park there. It just seems like they've got the demand. They really could have it be this iconic location where they spent 10 days, 9 days, 8 days just having a big party down there and have that be kind of the finishing up for the season in North America. I think it'd be really fun.
Parking will be expensive. There are parking
Yeah,
garages, but it will be
yeah,
very expensive.
Don't park. Take public transportation. Or,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
walk
Or
and
walk.
take the subway or whatever. Yeah.
or
And
and
the
I-
bathroom situation's not great. It's going to be porta potties. The closest
Okay.
bathroom is at Pier 84 up the block in the ferry station.
We like to
or
call
whatever.
those shit saunas.
especially in the summer, right?
hey, just for the heck of it, I did just go to DC, and there are relay tickets available. It was completely sold out. Now there's relays, so keep checking back. There'll be some singles or doubles coming.
Yeah, I think they might drop those inter days for New York City from the first and second weekend.
I mean, that's really all I had this week. Is there anything you wanted to cover, Dave? Anything you wanted to talk about your weekend? Oh, there was a big game. Did you watch the hockey game the other night? Did you?
There was
I
something.
did.
Yeah.
We call it the charity.
Oh,
We know that you guys are having a rough time. in
so
the
every
States. There's
20
a lot of stuff
years or
going
so,
on.
you throw us a bone.
Yeah, so there's a lot of rough stuff going on. We thought we'd be nice,
All right.
And it was important to make it look like it wasn't a gimme, right?
Oh,
It was very important
right.
to make it look
So
like
take
you
it to
earned it.
overtime, right?
Exactly. It was just kindness. Kindness
Right.
is all. We're friendly. We're polite.
Right.
Yeah. It's like when you're running with a little kid and you kind of slow up a little bit to help them feel
Yes.
like they,
But not
Yeah.
all the way.
something like that.
Make it look tough.
You're just going to make us tired of all the winning, Dave.
Exactly. It was a great game, and they, congrats. That was awesome.
They tied it up while you were racing.
Yeah, while I was in the middle of my sled put or tank push, they tied it up, and it pushed Ryan and I onto a PR because of the exciting goal.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah. What was your PR? You did really well.
We were 11-16 for a strong,
Whew, nice.
and so for us, and we're 50 or 100 to 119 age group, so that puts us fourth, I think.
Whew, nice.
So we're second in the mile, fourth in the strong.
How many things are you going to try to qualify for, and then what will you decide to do at Worlds?
Okay, so I've got a really good plan. You ready? You're gonna like this. I thought of this plan today. So what I'm gonna do is we'll probably qualify for all three teams, and then everyone ahead of us, I'm gonna ask for video review,
Okay, there you go.
and when they can't produce it, I will disqualify them,
You're in a unique
and then
position.
pave our way to first place.
That sounds like a plan.
It's a good plan. No. Yeah, so we'll probably qualify for all three, and then we'll do all three unless it looks like let's say, for example, the mile, maybe we're looking like we got a really, really good shot at winning. We may skip the fit just to be ready to hit the mile hard. So yeah, that's the plan for this year. Kind of was the same as last year, except last year I was solo.
Gotcha. That sounds great.
But there's some quick old people out there, man.
Yes, there are.
There really are.
Yeah.
Got Tara Pipia all over the place.
She's a problem every time.
So yeah, we did that, and then the weekend before, I actually did a Hyrox Strong at an F45 gym
And
in Ontario. Well, F45 Dune, we did a Hyrox Strong relay there for charity, and you'd be very proud of me because they stuck me on the wall balls. I don't know why. That's my worst thing, but I did 67 unbroken with no reps. So it was a good shot for me. It was a good turnaround.
then did you finish the second set, or did you break the last part up more?
I stopped at 67 and probably shouldn't have, but I did, and then picked it up. It was like a 3-second stop. Picked it up and started going, but I realized at that time we're not catching the team in front of us. The team behind us not catching us, so I took another stop. So yeah, we were just kind of where we were.
Well, it's kind of nice going into a station ready. Like you're not running into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got a little more gas in the tank.
It was very cool. The strong relay was fun and fast. I think we were like 24 minutes or something like that.
So you had wall balls and what other stations?
Pull.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was a really good time. And like I said, I really think Hyrox needs to dive down into this, the strong rocks or whatever we want to call it, because people have a blast at it. Like, I don't know, Daria, you ever done one of those at your gym? Have you guys ever hosted just without the running?
We have not hosted without the running, but that's just due to logistics of spacing and whatnot. The city is very tight on spacing. Um, but we've run a couple other events that with less running that people are interested in, especially if people can't run for whatever reason or just aren't confident or comfortable with the amount of running in the regular Hyrox race right now. And maybe want to do something more than just a relay. But
Yeah.
no, we haven't.
Yeah, it was a blast. Everybody there had a great time. It was really well set up. They organized it well. You know, wall balls looked pretty good. People were doing a good job on it. I did not judge.
What's the next event you're doing, Daria?
I'll be doing just a relay in DC, and then I'm doing pro doubles in Cancun.
Oh, Cancun.
It should be fun. Yeah.
How late is the relay in DC?
I don't think it's that late because the regional 15 elite race is in the evening
Yeah, they
on
race at 7:30.
Saturday night and Sunday night.
So you'll go before them.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
That would be the move. I was in bed by 2:00 in the morning on Friday. That was inhuman. And yet when we were there, we were having a great time. But that was the problem, is we all just ended up staying way too late. It'd be really nice to not have, I think my recovery would have been a lot better. I may have actually run solo on Sunday if I hadn't had to do that. So
yeah, we'll see. So are you guys going to be in DC?
I will be in DC.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't get a ticket.
I am racing doubles with another guy named Matt that I met through Bubbles, and I'm going to give him our running splits, Cheryl. I think he's slower than me, but I think I'm going to just go for the same running pace that we did. Mm-hmm. Maybe even push it harder, because why not? Like maybe
I think you've got gas in the tank to try it out. You might as well.
Right.
Well, that, or you could get him to just sit on your shoulder and take a little more in the stations, and that way he'll be able to run your pace.
Well, I can't remember. I'm trying to find our messages. But yeah, that's what I was thinking the other day. I was out on a run, and I thought, yeah, this is one that, like, I could risk blowing up for. Like, not that I want to, but like if I race, like when you and I race next, Cheryl, we're gonna keep pushing it. But I don't ever want to like this is a good one to practice, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Not to disrespect my partner, because we're gonna have a good time, but he knows we're not qualifying for Worlds, and maybe I'll push it a little bit harder.
Yeah, you and I have an agenda.
For sure. It's a long-term vision that we have.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can cut early this week. I think it's about all we have.
Sure.
Thanks for having me.
But listen, Hyrox, like if you're focused on customer service, like make it so people aren't so upset they can't get tickets.
Well, how do you do that?
You you do your market research, you open up enough spaces, especially if you have a venue for 2 weeks anyway.
But then they keep adding. Listen, they added a day for Houston. They just added a day in Paris. I mean, they're doing I won't give them a hard time for that. I think they're doing okay. I think they can do better with their internal systems, but
yeah. Let's hope they do it in New York, is all I'm saying. I feel very bad my heart goes out to people who just want to race and they can't race.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's going to be tickets available. Again, I don't know how many they hold back, or when they start doing the return, But so here, real quick, I knew I had a fucking point. Part of the reason New York sells out goes back to this thing. Remember, I can't even remember now because their fucking timing is always so wacky. Here's what they do screw up. Remember they released, was it Chicago that sold out and then nothing else did because they had just put all their eggs in that basket, and we were like, why did they do that? Like, everyone registered for Toronto, but they could have registered for Boston. Do you remember what I'm talking about? You guys looking at me like I'm crazy.
Dallas sold out quick. Anaheim sold out quick. Chicago hung in the ether for weeks and weeks and weeks.
So I think this is a similar thing, is that they're afraid to open up, for example, any fall races, which they should do, because guess what? You need time to plan to A, travel, and B, train. So why not announce Atlanta again in October and Anaheim in December? Like, there's no reason they can't. So it's like New York. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's like an East Coast race. It's a pretty cool. Like everybody compounds, and then when they announce something else, they'll be like, "Well, shit, I didn't have to go to New York." You know what I mean? So anyway, I just think that's part of the problem too. Is that like they wait, and then they spring it on us with this one big thing, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, here's all these other races you could go to." Like they're afraid it's not going to work, but it will work. New York will still sell out.
I just think it's really close to Stockholm. And if you're not in that 1% going to Stockholm, and then they kind of don't have any races over the summer, or they're very sparingly, and then I think they want to like create that hype over the summer that everyone has that like dry spout, and then they announce it and everyone's like animals ready to like jump on it.
Pile on, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they are. It's still they could do it though. Like maybe you don't have to announce Anaheim in December, but certainly announce the fall races. If there's races in August and September, announce them now. There's no reason you can't.
They definitely should give a little more time. With announcing New York, it was basically 3.5 months before. That's not that much time for people, like you said, to train.
And again, if you're not in the community, you don't know it's coming. Like we all kind of knew it was about to come, and that it's probably the same weekend every year. And yeah, so just do better. Do better about that. Announce the stupid races. As Mo said to me, we'll announce them when we do, and it's like right, exactly.
It's a very accurate statement.
Well,
that is true.
All right, guys, good talk.
Yes.